status. So this was a GitHub badge, the Gitter badge that we added last week. Source file cleaning on which branch? I don't know. The one on the left. Maybe a feature branch. Nope. Fixing email. What is that?
Somebody used the wrong attribute. So use to classes weren't actually part of the feature.
Correct. So I hope it's 19x then.
It's a breaking change actually. So it's tricky because it's obviously a bug, obviously a bug. But
I see.
You now use emails. Yeah, I've added a note to the release notes about this. Boring.
So it happened to work, but it should not have worked. Email activity. Okay. So Sipke on dashboard, which is on the dashboard branch, which is good. Fixing workflows localized outcomes for user identifier. So is it the no, not that again. Not that again. It looks better. Okay, it looks better. It looks better. So this bug has a history. Did you look at the history?
No.
Thierry, aka Coding Lab, opened the bug and fixed it last year. It was actually a wrong fix because it was breaking something else. Then I reverted the fix. Then we reopened the bug, claiming that actually issue and not. Yeah, let me see. We need to open the bug because it contains the comments and so you are using case L here. I don't know why. Did you change something?
The issue was that the localized text, the localized label of the outcomes, like done, and that could be localized to anything, that was used as IDs in the data.
Yeah, correct. I think that's a good fix. So let's find the issue on GitHub because this is important, and we will associate it, and close it. So issue.
I couldn't find one, but I guess there is.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. Filters. How do we search here? No, search.
We can search there with filters. Just write anything after issue is open.
Workflow localization. Find it. This one. Coding Lab, you see? Created, commented, 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 commented. So fixed. Okay. So you see, PR solved it. Okay, but it was just it was fixing the issue, but it was a patch. It was not fixing the issue. It was causing more issues. Fixed in change set, but then I reverted it. I'm reopening the issue. This change is actually causing more trouble. Some activities define their outcomes directly in HTML. This case doesn't comply with the format that is parameterizing. I'm trying to fix it right now. And I tried, but I failed. This change set also causes this one. The outcomes have been updated such that okay. Yes, maybe so. I reverted because if the shape of an activity was rendering something which was not correct, then it will break everything. So Sipke fixed that. Okay, closed. Maybe I think is that the state stores the translated value of the outcome instead of the text hint. This will not break. Okay, so do you see that, Zoltán? I'm not suggesting to use an ID, but using the original value and not the translated value. So the text and not the text hint.
That's actually what's implemented in the fix.
Because your ID.
Yeah, it's called ID in the object literal
Correct.
in JavaScript,
Good.
but it's using the text hint.
Good. Perfect. So we can close this one then and assign the commit number, which we have here. Commit hash. Chatbot added this. It's still assigned. Oh, yes. Milestone is good. So let's close it. Beautiful. And we have a link. Boom. Beautiful.
Yeah, but I fixed it in dev, so it's not.
Then you will cherry pick it.
Oh.
No, it's a bug fix. We have to fix it in 19x.
All right, I will do.
Please. So the left one then seems to be dev. This is his branch. Move the chat batch down on README. Okay, so it's fixed because it was ugly last week. Okay, here, join the chat. Wow, people did chat. No, maybe. Let's keep it open. Oops, README, reflect. It's a new, most recent mission statement. Version number. Okay, this one is on dev too. Guys, why dev? So you you complain that we don't ship 19x more often, and you just put the stuff in dev. So what's the point?
I think we complain that we don't ship dev often, so here is the fix for that.
Put that in 19x, you will have it. So I'll put none. What is that?
So this change that it takes into account the location property of the output cast attribute. Because if you don't want to set the no store property to false, for example, it would still be stored in the output cast filter, or by the output cast filter, even if you don't want to cast it on the server, but you do want to cast it on the client, on the browser. Because that's why we have the location property.
Okay, so you're taking more values of the attribute into account.
Yes. Yeah, and downstream means proxy server, client means browser, or none, which means don't cast at all.
Did Daniel agree with the change?
He did. Thank you for trusting me on my word.
No, I mean,
No.
even if I had done that, I would have asked Daniel because he was the last to touch this file.
Yeah, of course.
This one is on 19x. Good.
Yeah, and actually Zoltán didn't agree with this change because, because we're injecting HTTP context base directly, which he thinks is a bad pattern. It works, but we're working on a different issue branch where we are where you can inject a HTTP context accessor, which will return an actual HTTP context base instance, even in background tasks.
Okay. So these are the pull requests from triage. This one is fixing the email form and using the custom credentials. This one, warning, I think we talked about it. Why is this page? It's not a warning, it's some documentation. Poor guys will have to translate it. Yeah, maybe ideally, that's good here, but ideally when we have that much information, maybe sometimes we should have if we had documentation, we should say, are you sure you want to do it? And point them to the documentation page explaining the issue. And okay. Okay. Dev, yes, why not? Because that could break. Okay. Background HTTP context as the other branch. Okay.
This is actually experiment. I don't think I'm gonna go with it.
Paris, too much noise in Paris. Okay, where were we? Here.
Oh yeah, this is just setting the HTTP context at current property to an actual HTTP context instance, not using HTTP context base because of the HTML helpers that fail to execute when there's no HTTP context at current instance. Yeah, you can see that implementation of the second file. Yep, or that one. Yeah, line 36.
Why are we using HTTP context.current?
Oh, because if you render a razor view using in a background task, and that razor view invokes some HTML helper, for example, HTML.hidden or HTML text field, whatever, that MVC HTML helper will access HTTP context.current at some point. And if that's null, it will fail. So your rendering in the background will fail.
Oh, really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It really uses HTTP context.current.
Yes,
that makes me very sad.
I know. You and me both.
Here there is a difference. Here is a if not null. Oh, because you can try null if. Oh, okay, I see.
There was actually no check before at all.
Okay, sorry. Still, it's a good module. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, I think Zoltán will like this because now you don't have to inject HTTP context base anymore.
I like it already.
So HTTP context will never be null now. Whenever you do,
it will only be null when during warm-up, before during the phase where autofact is being configured, because there's some code somewhere that accesses or uses IWork context accessor, but then the MVC module that's also registering a HTTP context base factory method hasn't been registered yet. So that's the only case where it will be null, and that's why I'm including the HTTP context equals null in the extension to query to determine if the HTTP context base is a background HTTP context or not. But in any other case, including background tasks, it will never be null. But if you do want to know if it's a background context, that's when you use the extension method instead of checking for null.
Okay. So, good progress. Demos. Who wants to start?
Well, my demo is short.
Yeah, do your short demo, because Zoltán are never short.
That's not true. But let's see Sipke's demo.
So let me stop sharing. Done. Okay, done. So hopefully much more simple.
Much more simple. So last time you saw multiple dashboards that could be edited, but after the comments, it's been simplified. So this is my current my custom dashboard, and when I want to change this, I go to this admin menu here, go to dashboard, and it will instantly display the dashboard editor. So there's only one dashboard now at this point that you can edit, and that's always this one. I had a question. Do you think it would make sense? Do you think it makes sense to have a restore button? Because what if you messed up your dashboard and you want to revert?
Restore button? What do you mean? It's a content item.
It's a content item. So yeah, we could use audit trail.
So yes, there is a trail, and isn't there a save button here, or publish, or cancel, or whatever?
Yeah, there's a save and publish now.
Save, publish. So there is a draft and publish, like a content item.
Yeah. So
okay.
you could use this, but that's what I did to restore.
Yeah, let's use the code audit trail. Don't do something else.
Okay.
And something I would have expected when I saw you on the main dashboard was an edit button directly instead of going to the settings. I don't know what people think.
Oh, I had the same idea. That would be great.
I don't know where.
So maybe
not
top right.
Make it too intrusive. What does WordPress do?
I would add it to the bottom.
Should you have?
I don't have an account.
Should it be a permission? Is there a permission for that? No, it's a content item, so it's content permission.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So okay. I like to see what WordPress is doing, where they put it, or just an edit button somewhere, just a shortcut to edit it somewhere.
Yeah, maybe bottom right. We can add a link or a button.
Another solution, because shapes in Orchard and zones.
What are shapes again?
Maybe the top banner, welcome to Orchard, user admin and everything, is a zone, and maybe you can inject something there. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It will be different. Maybe it will be a new paradigm, maybe in the UI. Well, your solution is correctly good, but when you said let's edit that, I was like, okay, why do we go to the settings and that?
Yeah, I had the same thought actually.
Not sure. At the same time, yeah, I have no idea.
I think it wouldn't hurt to have a button here to the bottom right.
So who can edit that right now? Everyone. Who can edit the content?
Yeah. So we should add a permission for that, because not everyone should.
Let's think about it. Because it's a content item. Even if you don't have the permission, if it's not just a permission, it's also a permission handler. Because otherwise, if it's just a permission, you don't have a custom controller. It's just a content item controller.
It's a custom controller, I think.
Yeah. Even for the edition?
Yeah, I think so.
But then you can override it with the default editor if I know the content item ID.
True. Yeah, that works. There was a reason I chose to have a custom controller, but I can't remember at this point. There was a reason, but maybe because of the changes, maybe it's not necessary anymore.
I don't think you need a custom controller, and please try not to have a custom controller if not necessary. And then you can ensure the permission using a permission handler. I don't remember the name, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The event handler for the permissions, and then you check if the content item is a dashboard. Then ensure that you have the permission for that, or you own it.
Sure.
Just to prevent people from being able to edit it. And when you render
you know why? Well, you know why I have a custom controller? Because it's currently dashboards are implemented as content items, but they don't have to be content items. What the dashboard API wants, it's a shape, an edit shape and a display shape. Because in the initial version, if there weren't any dashboard content items, it would just render the default shape. So I added an abstraction there. But we can remove that because in practice...
please make it simple.
Okay. In that case, I can get rid of the controller as well. So that would simplify things even more.
Yes. Well, that's awesome.
Okay, so that's what I'll do, and add the permission handler. So that you can...
People can even remove the advisory if they want. And yeah, it's great.
Yep.
That's great.
This is better. Okay, sure. That's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for the edit button, I know, look at what WordPress does, and before doing it, see, let's talk, and because maybe it's already good enough with that. I'm trying to think about permission. Why would people to prevent? So let's say there is a contributor or an editor, and people don't want them to edit the dashboard. Yeah, they could say, okay, remove the permission from anyone so that the dashboard is can't be modified. Nobody. Okay, that would make sense actually to have a dashboard that nobody can modify, because that could be like the homepage of an intranet.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe a permission is good here. You assign it to everyone who can edit content items by default, but then people could be able to remove the permission from the roles. Okay, do that in a simple class to check for the permission. Make it simple so that, because it will run for every time a content item is displayed, so just test for the content type. That will be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thanks. Awesome. Zoltán, or does anyone else have any remarks on the dashboard? Want to share their joy or complain?
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think a button on the dashboard is actually really that essential, since you can get it from the admin screen.
And yeah. Okay. So Zoltán.
I will try to share my screen. I can't because somebody is sharing the screen, but nobody is sharing the screen.
Try to refresh your browser. F5.
That's great.
Again.
Now I got that sharing ended, so now I can share it. What is this? All right, it's now loading, so please tell me when you can see it. And if you can see it, yes, now it should be sharing. Is it?
Not for me.
So just to answer a question on the chat, because I saw that also. Yes, the next step for the dashboard will be that users want their own dashboard. But that's the next step. Let's do it simple right now. And yes, we know users will want their own dashboard, but then the issue is that some websites will want mandatory elements on the dashboard, then the user can add their own or customize, remove them. And so that can be complex. So yeah, but we know next step, it should be an issue tracked and everything. And yeah, you have to restart your screen share. It stopped.
Really? Okay,
yes, this is the Jasmine infect. So if it doesn't work again, you just restart your browser.
All right,
wait
let's
for
see
you
it again. I'm sharing again. And I'm supposed to be broadcasting my screen now.
Can you hear me?
Well,
sorry?
Can you hear me?
Someone?
I can't see the
yes.
I can't see the screen sharing, so I will restart as well.
Now you can.
Sebastian, you can?
No, it stopped. So you have to restart your browser.
All right, I will try. I will get back in a minute.
Okay, in the meanwhile, I would like to make a quick announcement. You can hear me all right? Okay, so yeah, so the CRUDing project is updated for Orchard. And I think
Thank
Antoine took a jump start because
Awesome. What will people do without the French people on this project? Crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, the forum module is added to the gallery project as well, so you can translate the
cool.
Nix forum module as well.
Thank you. Jasmine, you're not French. Okay. So you can't. I didn't include you when I said French people. Okay, I can see. Benedek, can you see screen?
No, unfortunately not. So I'm going to refresh the page as well, so I have to log back in just a second.
Okay. This is hilarious. In the meantime, I will share some links because that takes some time.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I can see your screen now.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
So, what is this about? We have this issue here about taxonomies localization and generally container and containable localization, because what we don't have now with localization part and orchard.localization and everything is a kind of synchronization for structure. So if you have container-containable or taxonomy relationships, when you do a localization with localization part, you can't keep the original structure and mimic it in the other culture. Items added through localization part will just go to limbo. So that's what we implemented. So this was the issue. Oops. This is a project related to urban IT. Let's go to this with the chat on the call, and somebody is making some noise. The project is actually for EETT, so the Hellenic Telecommunications and Post Commission. We'll probably demo the whole project itself later, but for now this was one piece, and in the end there will be, by the way, a whole user-facing dashboard on the EETT website where you as a Greek user, could browse mobile or cell phone provider data that was generated by measurements. So cars will go around the country, measure signal strengths and everything, and you as a user will be able to see that. So that's it. But for now, this little project or this little module was about localization and taxonomies and everything. And by the way, it's here up on GitHub. It has a quite extensive README. So there are examples and everything on how to use it. But now I will give you a little tour, of course. So if there are any issues, by the way, just open issues, and eventually we could, if we are satisfied with this technique, we can include it in Orchard itself. But let's see what all this is about. First, you have to enable the module, of course. It's called Localization Extensions, and there is a feature in it called Localization Extensions Taxonomies, just for taxonomies. So I will demonstrate now how what the idea is on example of blocks, but the same is true for taxonomies. But I will show that just shortly. So let's see what we can do to localize a block. Now we will create a block that will be called blog, and this blog will be an English blog. So we have an NUS culture already set up, and then HU, this is the Hungarian culture. So let's create an English blog. And in this English blog, naturally, we will write, or we will create blog posts that will be English blog posts, or blog post 1 English, blah, 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 and publish it. Publish it. We have a localization part attached on blog posts, so you can see this menu here, but we also have localization part attached on blog. So what should we do when we want this blog to be localizable? So we are writing an English blog, there are English blog posts like this, but we want to have the Hungarian counterpart of this. What we should do is we should go to the blog itself and localize it first. So let's open the blog properties, and here we have the localization part menu as well. So let's create a localized blog that will be the blog but in Hungarian, and that's it. So this far everything would work out of the box, but what will come next wouldn't, because localization is not capable of supporting that. But now we'll just go to the English blog and localize the blog post. I could have clicked the link outside as well. Anyway, let's add a new translation. And now I will add a blog post 1 in Hungarian. And let's publish it. And now let's go back to the blog and open the Hungarian blog, and let's see what's there. And here we have a blog post. Well, this is obvious, but this wasn't working before. What happened in the background is that if localization part is used, or all content item relationships that use common part the container-containable relationships like blocks and block posts have, they will be taken care of. And if you create an English block post in this example, and you add this localized counterpart, the localized counterpart will be automatically added to the blog, to the localized counterpart of the parent blog. So this mechanism will investigate the parents, will check the parents, and will try to restore the same structure on the other end. So it's a solution for a specific use case where you want to have a similar structure throughout the localized content. Of course, this is not good for everyone, but you can see how it works. And now it's the same for taxonomies. So in taxonomies, I've already set up something. We have an English and the Hungarian taxonomy. So here is the English one, and here is the Hungarian one. As you can see, we have some terms localized in the same way. And now what's specific to taxonomies is that here the structure again is reconstructed, but also for terms. So if I add a new term, and it should have one parent term, and that would be term 111 English. So here we have this nice structure. Now, if you want to localize this term, that's of course not existing in the Hungarian taxonomy, then again we go to the term, we go to the editor of the term, and again we add a new translation. That would be the term 111 HU, blah blah blah. And again, what the magic is here, that it works. Before, this term would just vanish because there would be no parent taxonomy for it. But here we restore the structure on the other end as well, and we move this term automatically under the localized counterpart of the original parent term. So that's it, guys. I hope you like it. That's a simple approach to content relationship localization. But I guess you have some comments and suggestions. Anyone?
That's awesome. Love it. And I love the fact that it's optional, because people know they want different hierarchies based on the language, and some others want the same hierarchy based on the language. And
that's right.
That's great. How do you configure it for different? So when you enable the feature, you said there was a feature for taxonomies and a global feature. How is there just one feature or two features? Why taxonomy has a? I think I taxonomy own feature because it has dynamic types, or maybe not.
Actually, that's not the case, or not the reason.
It's not the common part.
Yes, that's not common part. So the base feature takes care about common part, but that won't work for term structures. So if a term has a parent term, it won't work.
Good. Then, so it's good to be able to enable it only for taxonomies. Is there a way that we could have it as a setting, maybe in the command part? So that you could enable it for specific command parts and not all the, I don't know, even if it's by default enabled, but you could opt out for some of them.
Yes, that's a good idea, and we could absolutely do it. So actually how this is implemented is simply, well, not just simply, but by using all kinds of event handlers. So hooking into the content item pipeline.
Yeah. So I assume when you enable the feature, you want it everywhere because you want your hierarchies to be reflected everywhere. It makes sense. But you might want to be able to opt out for custom content types. Then you will, So on the content type, then you will go edit the command part and say, no, I don't want localization hierarchy support. And okay, that's great. Why calling it a localization extension?
Because it's extending localization. But we couldn't think about any good name. Somebody. Christian, if you are talking,
I fix it again. Yeah. So yeah. So Christian, if you want to say something, say it quick because you have a lot of background noise, and otherwise we have to mute you. Sorry. Feel free to say anything.
Hey, Zoltán.
Yeah.
Maybe change that description of the feature. It says something like fixes container-containable. It's not a good way of.
Probably a strong word.
Yeah, I think the name and description are wrong. The name should be explicit about the notion of hierarchy or parent relationship with localization, but not extension. It's not obvious what it does, and that it does anything. Let's call it helpful localization. Sure. You see what I mean?
Yes. By the way, if you like this functionality, Sotoris is open about contributing it to Orchard. So we could open a feature branch, bake the feature out,
right.
or the features.
The parallel question is: don't we want it by default if there is a setting to opt out, so that it will not even be a feature, but a core localization feature?
I think this one, so the base feature should be part of Orchard localization, but again with a content type setting, so as you have said.
Yes. So if we have that, Nick, what do you think?
Say that again.
What do you think about the module?
Yeah, I like it. The only thing that I thought it might be a little bit confusing if you say add a new localization and it kind of just appears in a different, like how you had your blog, you had a blog and you had a blog post and you were localizing the blog post and the blog post was appearing in a different blog. That might be a bit confusing maybe, but I like it.
Oh, I see. So,
you see what I mean?
Yes, you have a different. It's okay.
It might be confusing where your content's actually ending up.
Well, if there is a way to remove the feature for blogs, then good.
Yeah.
There is, and we thought about that, and doesn't seem to be a simple way to solve this, because you are right that it's confusing that there is another blog involved and everything. But if you want to localize blog posts, you also have to localize the blog itself, if for nothing more for the path, because that will include the blog's path or slug. And sometimes blog title will appear.
It might be as you... Sorry, you guys go.
I think we have a feature in the comment part to say, don't take that for the blogs on the blog post. Fine.
Yeah, that would be the case.
Yeah, then good. Then I'm good with the caveat, and you can change it if you want. Love it. And another request while everyone is hearing. Can someone work on the, let's ask Daniel maybe. Can someone work on the UI for the translation part? This is so ugly. This plus new translation link and this drop down, if we could have a list, tabs or flags and click directly on that, and it would be awesome.
What translation link?
The translation part, the localization part. The plus new translation. I'm sure Zoltán will open a blog post and show us the part, which I think.
Yeah.
I'm just reopening the share screen. I don't see anything right now.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's my bad.
Translation.
Yes, this thing. There is nothing I like in this part. There is
the problem is that when you end up with with 10 different cultures, then it's you could list out the cultures here, but if you've got 1 or 2, but if you've got 10, it gets really unruly.
Yeah, so make it horizontally like tabs with flags or whatever. And look at what Jasmine did for the auto route. Sorry.
So
auto-write
that's going to get
settings.
unruly with 10. That will get unruly with 10 localizations as
Yeah,
well.
that's fine. 10. Imagine 10 flags here. I know.
Yeah, well, I can imagine that. So
I think it's great. In a flag with a great flag, if there is no translation, and you can click on that with a plus on it to add one, so it's obvious you added a translation for that. Or if you click on an existing one, it opens the one. That's awesome. If I find time, I will do a prototype, and people will say if they like it or not. We'll see. But I don't. Well, I don't like this UI. There must be a better way to do that. Plus new translation.
just don't break it.
Oh no, sure. It's just changing a link to a link. It's just don't worry. Yeah, Sipke, do you agree with me? I know you will.
I do. Otherwise, I
He
would
always agrees. Yes, you see. That's why I ask you. Okay, great. Awesome module. Like it. Yes, so come with a plan on a branch based on dev. And you can refund urban it after. Good.
All right, we'll do that.
Awesome. Great. What else? I have nothing else on the status. What am I missing? Oh, a trick for all of you. You know CodePlex? So when you get an email from the CodePlex notification that there is a new issue or a new conversation, do you often click on the link to see view full issue online to answer to the issue? I do it a lot.
Yeah, full discussion online.
Yes, when you click on it, you are not authenticated, even though you click on the remember me checkbox. Okay, that's an issue. I know why. Yeah. The answer to my question this morning.
The HTTPS.
Correct. Because the link is HTTP and they change the cookie to be HTTPS only, which means if you go to your profile, you're authenticated, but if you go to the forum, you are not authenticated. So just change the HTTP to HTTPS and you will be authenticated. Yes, and I asked them, okay, please show me the repository. I will change the link to provide an HTTPS link then instead of that's. So yes.
But are they actually doing work on CodePlex out of interest?
I don't know. You have to follow their blog.
But
the last post was 2 years ago. No, they're working. The support is there. They're answering all my questions. That's nice. I don't think they are doing any new feature, but they are fixing all the bugs.
So we're not migrating back.
It will be too hard. No. Good. Questions? Just because he's pinging me, Sergio from Spain. Sergio works hard on the Orchard conference, defining a plan for having it in Alicante. Alicante? How do you say that in English? Alicante? How do you say that, Nick? Alicante. Okay, you talk Spanish too. So finding hotels and conference rooms, pretty cheap. There are many choices. At some point, if Sergio, you want to share it with the group, I'm fine with that. I think it should be open for comments. And in the next couple of weeks, we should decide commonly if we want to go with this location and date. Again, commonly.
What date are we looking at?
September, I think, will be fine. Late September. It's nice and sunny in Spain still. It's cheap because the holidays are done.
Is it during a week or over a weekend?
We can talk about it. We've experienced both. The first year was during a weekend, as I can remember. I think so. Yeah. Then Amsterdam was on the end of the week or the beginning. I can't remember.
Okay.
I think it was Monday, Tuesday, and Monday, Tuesday also in Redmond. So we can talk about it as long as it's late September, it will be cheap and there will be lots of vacations. Mean there will be lots of open rooms and hotels. Good. So for Mike from Moscow, next time please come back 1 hour before because now it's done. You're late. Okay. So see you on Thursday.
Yep. See you on Thursday.
Bye bye.
Bye everyone.
Thank you guys.
Bye everyone.